want to welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rutan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I'm excited for this episode because I think I talked to you about this before. 2018, fantastic vintage for Washington State. I still have to do some interviews with some winemakers, but what I've heard through the grapevine, no pun intended, I've heard from different people that 18 is stellar. And the best way to find out is to taste some of the rosés that are being released from 2018. March is Washington Wine Month. This is what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is would be the 4th episode I've shot with Washington wines. Very excited about Washington Wine Month, especially March. Remember, July not so much, but March it was the original Washington Wine Month. We're going to get started with the Eisenhower Cellars Cabernet Franc Rosé 2018. This is from the Yakima Valley appellation. Sorry about the little thing on the front, but the sales rep put the price on the back. This rolls in at $14. Brett Eisenhower's a cool guy. Like that guy. Makes great wines. We had him up for a wine tasting event, and he was fun. Very entertaining, very knowledgeable. Now, some wineries use the Saunier method for making rosé. Saunier means to bleed in French, basically, rough translation. So they take the grapes and they leave them on the skins for only a couple hours, maybe 4 hours, maybe even 6, depending on the color they want. And then they take the juice off of that, and that becomes a rosé. And they take the rest of the grapes and they continue to ferment them and they continue to leave them on the skins for a much longer period of time and get more extraction for that, and they make a little bit more money, of course, because they're getting double use out of those grapes. Now, some wineries will just make straight up rosé. They dedicate the grapes just for that purpose. I can't remember if Brett does that or not, but this is a Cabernet Franc rosé. I think Cab Franc, I've said it many times, does very well in Washington State. So I'm very, very excited to try this from the 2018 vintage. Let's see what we get on the nose. A little bit of strawberry and cherries. You get a little bit of watermelon and, really close to the rind though. You know what I mean? Where the watermelon with a little bit of the rind in it. Rind. Yeah, fairly perfumed on the nose. I like it. Let's see what, and, nice color, salmon colored. A little bit, a little bit darker, but not too much. Let's see what we got on the palate. So watermelon comes out big time. Very dry. I like this rosé. The thing that I like about this is it's got a lot of like dried herb notes to it. A little bit of tarragon, a little bit of sage. Just a nice flow across the palate, very dry finish, very refreshing. It's got a nice kick on the mid palate. The cherry notes, almost like with a little bit of the cherry pit, comes through right on the backside. Yeah, good rosé. The herb notes come through big time on the back end. You almost get like a roasted herb component coming through on the backside. This has a ton of flavor, but it's very dry. I think a lot of Provence rosé drinkers would love this rosé. It has a little bit of that burnt element coming through. Almost like roasted. They roasted the watermelon just a little bit with little herbs sprinkled on it. Well made rosé. I'm going to go BB plus on that. I like it a lot. Let's move on to the 2018 Milbrandt Vineyards Rosé Wine 2018 Columbia Valley. This rolls in at $13. So very close in price. This is primarily Syrah with a little Tempranillo thrown in. Millbrandt's changed their program so much in the last couple of years I can't hardly keep up, but their wines seem to be stellar, so whatever they're doing is right. Now this is quite a bit lighter than that last one. I should pour 2 glasses together. I'm not going to do that, sorry, but this one is a little lighter than that one. I think you might be able to see some boxes in the back. We're moving. We're getting ready to move. This is prior to our trip to, no, we're moving after our trip to England, France, and Italy. We're coming back and we got to get after it. So we're packing now. So we'll be almost ready when we get back. Anyway, lighter than the Eisenhower, so that's why I'm not running to get a glass, because I've got them packed up. I just have a few glasses around the house now. This has a lot of watermelon and strawberry, big time. Just a slight, tiny hit of bubblegum, which is very common in rosé. But very much the strawberry and watermelon coming through. Very curious, before I get started on tasting this wine, it's amazing how rosé has really taken off. I mean, even all year, all winter, I've been selling rosé. Of course, it dies down a little bit. That makes sense. But I stacked some rosé just about a month ago, and it was, boom, gone. So, you know, people are still drinking it. That is beautiful because rosé is a very versatile wine. It goes with a lot of different foods. It's very refreshing. It doesn't have to be warm out to enjoy rosé. It can be warm in your house. Just warm your house up a little bit and have some rosé. There's a little interesting, that's what I'm smelling again. I got a little interesting little, almost like a pine sort of note coming through. Anyway, let's see what we get on the palate. Much lighter than the other one. I probably should have done them the other way, but I had no idea how to do that. Very, very light. A little bit challenged, a little bit thin on the mid palate. Definitely watermelon notes, front to finish. It thins out quite a bit on the mid palate. Then on the back end, though, you get a little bit of that watermelon rind thing coming through, which is very interesting. Very dry, very delicate rosé is where I'm going to put this one. Not super excited about this rosé. It's good. I mean, it's light. It's a little bit thin. It's very delicate, as I can say. I think the style is that way. I think they're trying to get that kind of Provence style. There's a little bit of an herbal component on the back end, but I'm curious if I go the other way on this one. Be patient with me here. I want to be fair to the Millbrandts. I think I went, did I go BB plus on that? I hope that's right. I went around BB plus. I'm just going to go B minus on the Millbrandt Rosé. It's good rosé. There's nothing wrong with it. No bubblegum on the palate. Very delicate, very light. It would be a great salad rosé for sure. With seafood, it would be really good with it. I just don't want to, you know... BB plus, B minus. I'm going to go C plus. I mean, it's good. It's just above average. It's not anything to get excited about. I do like the Eisenhower Cab Franc Rosé. This will not be the last Rosé episode I have. with Washington State Rosé. I'm very excited to try the 2018s. I think the Eisenhower might express the vintage a little bit better than the Milbrandt's Rosé did. Now the thing about Milbrandt is you just get, it's a quaffer, a PP wine, as they say, a porch pounder. You know, I think you'd like it. It's a very fairly priced at $13, so there you go. Are you into rosé? Do you like it? Did you like this episode? Do you have any of your favorite rosés? Make a comment down there. What has been your favorite rosé recently? Are you a big Provence rosé person? Are you a Rhone style rosé? Are you a Spanish rosé? Where do you fall in the rosé category? Thanks for taking a little time out of your day to watch this. I really appreciate it. And if you get a chance, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button so you can see what's coming up. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.